Now to Edo State, where the bad shape of the Benin-Ekpoma-Auchi road is beginning to take its toll on the life of people in the area. Some commercial drivers who spoke to TVC News say the current state of the roads has serious negative effect on their income. Paul Ezenwa reports.
This is a major road within Edo State that serves as a link to over 10 local government areas in the state. It is also the major link that connects many states from the south to the northern axis of the country. But the situation now testifies for itself. Several years after the contract of the construction and dualization of this road was awarded by the federal government, movement remains partially impossible for residents and commuters.
You know, the road is too bad, as you can see. Even for the small vehicle to pass, another problem, talk less of the big vehicle. So we are calling for federal government to rescue us.
I've been on this road now for past 1 week now. You can see my clothes. I've been digging right from Ekpoma. I've been digging the same hole till I reach here. This road is very, very bad. The government should just help us.
Edo State government seems to understand the plight of road users and is meeting with the contractor and other stakeholders handling the construction work on the road to provide an immediate solution.
We agreed that the new map, the State Ministry of Road and Bridges and the Controller, Federal Ministry of Works will be in that axis to deal with those issues this wet season for us to have a permanent solution so that as we move into the dry season, we will be able to deal with the issue of that road, the issue of the discharge point, so that we will not have this next year again. So this time, we want to just use this wet season to deal with that. But in the meantime, there must be movement.
And the challenge is still discharge points, which both the state government, new map, and us, we are working together to identify areas where water will be discharged. Once we are able to get water off the road, there will be no problem.
Beyond this intervention by the state government, residents and road users will want the federal government to permanently fix the roads to make the movement of goods and services less cumbersome. Paul Ezenwa, TVC News, Benin.
Yakubu Maikiao has emerged the 31st president of the Nigerian Bar Association. Mr. Maikiao, a senior advocate of Nigeria, was named the new NBA president following an election of the legal body which held virtually. According to the declaration of the chairman of the Electoral Committee, Professor Ayodele Akintunde, earlier today, Mr. Maikiao polled a total of 22,342 votes to win the election, followed closely by his fellow SAN Joe Kiari-Gadzama, who scored 10,842 votes. Mr. Tidy Jonathan came third in the exercise with a total of 1,373. Following the declaration, Mr. Maikiao is expected to take over the leadership of the legal body from the outgoing NBA president Olumide Akpata, whose tenure expires on the 26th of August. Another operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a 27-year-old drug queen for planting drugs concealed in fetish bowls on 2 Oman-bound male passengers at the departure hall of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The passengers, after being arrested, alerted the officers after their accomplice, who was still within the vicinity, which led to her arrest. In Nasarawa State, NDLEA operatives intercepted more than 91 jumbo bags of cannabis. A 52-year-old suspect was arrested in connection with the seizure. In Kaduna and Adamawa State, more than 500,000 pills of pharmaceutical opioids were seized and suspects arrested in raid operations across the 2 states. Well, let's go down now to Sokoto State, where 6 persons have been arrested for allegedly killing a 90-year-old man and setting his corpse ablaze. Sokoto State Police Public Relations Officer Sanusi Abubakar disclosed that the crime was committed at Zangonati village in Guadadabawa local government area of the state. And according to him, some members of the outlawed group attacked and accosted the deceased Mohammed Riskua alongside his son, and one of the suspects shot and killed the deceased and his house ransacked. He also said that they made away with a sum of 430,000 naira, set the house ablaze, and also burnt the corpse of the deceased beyond recognition. The spokesperson of the police command said operatives foiled an attack by suspected hoodlums that invaded Tungan Liman village in Wono local government area of the state. Now, a notorious and popular bandit leader, Adu Aleru, has been turbaned as the chief of the Fulani Yadunton Daji Emirate in Zamfara state. The turbaning ceremony was done by the Emir of Yadunton Daji Aliyu Marafa at the Emir's Palace, Safe local government area. The notorious bandit kingpin has been terrorizing communities in parts of Katsina and Safi axis of Zamfara, leading to the death and abduction of persons, including travelers, for many years. Well, a source told TVC News that authorities in Yadunto Emirate say the decision to make the terrorist a chief is aimed at finding lasting peace in the troubled Safi and Yaduntundaji Emirates and other areas of Zamfara and Katsina, which are regularly attacked by Adu Aleru and his gang members. Well, to Katsina State now, where the banditry has had a devastating effect on farming in recent times and is now a source of serious concern for government at all levels, who fear it will increase the risk of food shortage in the country. Already, a substantial number of farmers across the country have been forced out of their farms for fear of being attacked. And our correspondent, Abdulatif Yusuf, observes how some farmers took the risk of going back to their farms in anticipation of a bumper harvest this year.
Food security is the ability of the people to meet up with their food demands without any fear of going out of stock. In the past, majority of people in Katsina State were engaged in one form of farming or the other to produce what they eat and eat what they produce. But in the past 2 years, records have shown that over 5,000 farmlands covering close to 58,000 hectares have been abandoned by farmers in Katsina State. These findings has further exposed the grave danger ahead if the situation continues like this.
This is a farm just a little far away from the main capital of the state, where plantation activities are still on as the rainy season is just setting in. The entire process is very tedious, as you can see. Almost everything is done manually to ensure the food security of the nation.
This farmer, like many others, had no option to return back to farm despite the risk of being attacked by bandits at any time. This video was shot on the same day the Duzama Police Area Command was killed a few kilometers away from this particular area. The farm owner and his laborers worked to finish up the day's business very quickly in order not to fall victim of the bandits. This year's farming season started with uncertainties because the rain started a bit late than we anticipated. But we are better now and almost done with planting. Fertilizer is a big problem now. It is too expensive for farmers like us that have to dispose almost 2 bags of guinea corn to get a bag of fertilizer. It is true that most farms have been abandoned by owners just across the road downwards. Most farms are very dangerous to visit. But we are lucky here. You can see for yourself. It has been established that 80% of residents in the state are full-time farmers, a reason why the level of unemployment is also on the rise. But most farmers are optimistic that harvest this year will in no small measure assist in boosting food production, as farmers have now relocated to safer areas to cultivate the land. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.